Man, bro, when I tell y'all I was scrolling on Instagram and like I swiped by this Kendrick Lamar picture of him doing like a live show up in Paris, he had this crown of thorns on his head. Man, like I don't, bro, I can't, bro, I can't, because now he's starting to take his reputation to like a different level, like a different place. And I don't know if I agree with the place he possibly is trying to take it to. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Man Cave. You already know what it is. I have taken over today. Your boy Man Ray, aka Mr. Drop the Mic himself, in the building, represent Overall 99 Media, and I'm here, like Zell may say, with the boys. And I'm gonna start off with the Zell May, the man, the CEO himself. What it is, man? Tell me what it is.
It's the legend himself, live for Zell May, looking cute, looking clean, got a haircut on vacation, looking sexy. The background gonna change almost every time. So we here chilling. I hope y'all had a good day. I hope y'all had a great day. I hope y'all had an amazing day. As a man, I appreciate you. I love you. Cherish you, King. Do what's right. Love the world. Hey, I'm vacation vibes, bro. So it's just all positive.
Yeah, everybody just ignore the bag behind him. He ain't got no tools. He ain't trying to take
listen, bro.
Like that. He just
we got the
items. Yeah.
Naturally,
next to him, we
I'm
have
on vacation, bro.
Man who's on vacation, but he's on vacation in his own mind every day, all day on Twitter. We have the Afro Comedy 765. What it do?
You already know, your local neighborhood scumbag here to give you your daily dose of dirt bags. You guys know the gimmick. If you don't, now you do. And I'm so happy that Kendrick Lamar has came forth. The second coming is here, y'all. I mean,
Jesus.
Rap game Jesus Christ, bruh. Y'all better quit playing with it. He said, I came out and I got the highest numbers of 2022 because I'm the son of God and my verses are holy. And now all y'all can do is bask in his glory.
I just cringed a little bit inside off that, but I already know somewhere on Twitter somebody is saying that exact thing. So I can't even start with that right now. But otherwise, bring me back, Mr. Uniqo Williams. Do you hear me?
Hey, I hear you, and I asked, do you hear me? We had Kendrick Lamar out there in Paris this week for Paris Fashion Week, which is like the only place that you're allowed to wear really nice clothes or really weird clothes at. But we definitely want to give him a shout out for shouting out what that boy name is, Ablo. What's his name? Ablo, the super duper fashion guy that Kanye.
R.I.P. Virgil, most definitely.
Yeah, R.I.P. Virgil Abloh. I apologize, Virgil Abloh. Shout out to him for shouting him out. But there was something else that I saw in Paris today. I was scrolling and somebody took a picture of the Eiffel Tower and somebody retweeted it and was like, "Where is this?" So I'm scrolling through the comments and they show a thing where it's like the camera is going down on the Eiffel Tower and it reaches Lola and Bugs Bunny. And she said, Stonehenge. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. So I said, are they rewriting Looney Tunes? And so apparently they've been rewriting Looney Tunes to be more modern and more like to our comedy. And so I guess it's been shown on WB Network, WB in the morning.
Paramount getting that money.
And then they've been getting the money from Cartoon Network on Saturdays too. And I watched some of it today. Lola's whole character has changed. I think it's hilarious. Like, she's the psycho girlfriend. Like, she answers the phone. Hey, Bugs. And Bugs asked her, how did you know it was me? He said, I just answer all my phone calls like that, just in case it's you. So that's the Lola Bunny that is being portrayed now. She's way different than we're playing basketball Lola Bunny that we saw in Space Jam. And we don't know what this Space Jam 2 Lola was, but I'm enjoying the character development that's under development. It's actually really funny. So if y'all can go back there to go to watch Cartoon Online, WCO.com. Check that out, man. The Looney Tunes is actually like funny.
Lola Bunny Superhead confirmed.
It's with the times now. It's with the times. But
yo, I thought in early 2000s she was kind of the psycho girlfriend too.
What? All it was Bugs was thirsty about Lola. What?
I remember her being. I remember early 2000s. She went a little crazy when WB changed that logo.
I remember her being.
When WB changed that logo, she seemed to always be crazy about Bugs.
What?
Yeah, once they got rid of the frog.
Yeah, once they got rid of the frog,
she got real thotty.
I thought, oh, did she? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
That's the thing. Everybody, that's the thing. Your reputation is what's so important. You see how they just spun that
Let's go, Transition King.
Over to anybody. That's what our episode today is about. It's literally about your reputation. It's about your name, what it stands for. The way they just spun Looney Tunes down the drain, like the WB has been doing for years. It's literally just
whoa, the shade.
It's everything, people. It's everything.
The shade.
It's literally just it's your name. It's what you're represented by, is your legacy, all that. We're learning now, even with Deshaun Watson, how your legacy can be tarnished off of 1 or 24 or hundreds possibly of decisions. And our decisions stick every day as a part of our legacy and a part of our reputation. And it's important as men to keep your reputation as smooth as it possibly is. And since we're just going to talk about some reputations, I'm going to start off with the Zell May himself. Bro, why is reputation so important? What's going on in our 2022 with our names, bro?
Okay.
Reputation, that's a big topic. Big topic. Shout out to Monray for the topic. Shout out to Monray for the idea. Shout out to my Aveeno face wash. They don't pay me for it.
You ain't got to move that shaving kit.
They ain't no shaving. That's a Aveeno lotion, bro. What you mean? I got the scope. You know what I mean? We on vacation. We in good, having a good reputation though. By the way, shout out to my camera and all that stuff y'all see back there.
Travel bottles ready.
Yo, we keep it stacked. Y'all don't need to see all that, but y'all don't need some. It might be some money back there. Y'all need to see where I got it from. But reputation is big because it can get you a job. Reputation is big because it can get you a girl. Reputation is big because it represents your whole life. The way you are represented can also get you out of jail if you do something bad. Like, oh, that's a good, if you're younger, for the younger people, younger men that's watching. If you got a good reputation, like, oh, your parents got a good reputation, you got a good reputation, but oh, it's something else to it. We gonna give you a warning and whatnot. Cause if you got a bad reputation, or your family don't have a reputation, you basically don't get that. You don't get that. Those things in your life get that. You got to think about your kids too. If I got a good reputation, your kids can basically get off too and do stuff, and you be able to move around more in the world. You can get jobs. You get more opportunities. People know you. People know what you're about. Like, oh, that's a Sunday school teacher. That's the president of the school student council. Your reputation always precedes you. If people know about you, if they know you're a good person, they know all that stuff, it can get you places that you might not be able to get to normally. And that's the most important thing I learned in college, Monray. When we was in college, the number one thing I learned was when they have them networking events, that's what the whole thing was for. I know people that dropped out and got better jobs than most of the people.
What?
Because they went to them stupid little business tents during the football game. And hooked up with the CEO, this vice president of the Bank of America, and got like a managerial job like in a year. But they like, hey, we can't just give it to you, so you have to train for a year. But they gave him like a big paying job, and then got on. Shout out to my boy. I ain't gonna say his name, Nicholas. I say his name. Screw it.
Yeah.
My boy Nicholas.
I ain't gonna say his name.
It's good. Nicholas. No, it's Nicholas Stevens. Shout out to my guy. He got a good.
Dang.
He got a good paying job, my guy, and everybody else was sitting there like with a degree, the whole degree. He dropped. And I know two Nicholas Stevenson, but he got a good job. Other people didn't. Why? Because he networked. He had a reputation. He knew the people, and that's mostly what reputation is: just getting out there, being able to know the people, and having a good name, being social, being able to talk to people, doing all those kind of things. That's big for anybody that want to know why your reputation is important, as well as if your reputation with other women and they tell their friends, because women talk, and they can get you places to it.
Shout out to them.
Woo, they get you a lot of places, can't they?
You ain't lying though. Like, if you got a good reputation, especially about certain aspects of yourself, because your name the name travels. Your name gonna travel, your feats, your actions, all that travels no matter what area you in. You can be in church, you can be in school, especially college, your workplace. Your name travels. The things you do also travel, because gossip is always a thing. No matter if you try to be in an environment that's okay, we keep to ourselves, whatever. Gossip always travels. And you always want to make sure things that's attached to your name are good things, the things that you want to be attached to. So, I mean, I'm gonna go to, and then especially on social media, your name. If you are known on social media about anything, we know about the clout chasing nowadays. If you are known on social media about anything, it's gonna get ugly if your name gets dragged through the mud. But since we're talking about social media, I got to let Afro Kami, the king of Twitter, the Twitter man himself, just tell me about a little bit about. Tell me about what's going on social media when it comes to reputation, man. Let me know what's going down.
His reputation is scumbag. So
I was gonna say, I'm the catch-22 here.
He's literally the only one that can't be touched.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting to. My reputation is that I don't care about my reputation, which is a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Because you be hard pressed to find somebody that has a legitimate bad thing to say about me in this day and age. Now past me, that's a different story. That's why I've went to therapy. That's why we're dealing with our inner problems. But your reputation, in so many ways, can be a gift and a curse. I think Zelmay's starting point, a good reputation, family-wise. I mean, let's not act like nepotism doesn't make the world go round, people. You know what I mean? So. Reputation in those departments, it goes far. But I can think of many times where I've been so happy that my reputation isn't that great, because fucking I can be that asshole. I can be the guy the scumbag that I am and just not care, and people don't have the luxury of being like, I can't believe you did that. It's like, no, I definitely believe he did that. That's him. He is who he is. So it's a beautiful thing. A good reputation can be a gift and a curse. Because I know a lot of people with good reputations to be getting used. Like you've got a good reputation because you let niggas use you. That's the nigga, he gonna let you get the loan and he ain't gonna press you about the money if you take time getting it back. If you want to take it to the street, that's the dude who's gonna front you, and freaking you might be a little slippy and you ain't gotta worry about him running down on you. Even as far as work, that's the manager that don't care if you hit the weed outside on break, but now you done accidentally got the police called because you was smoking with the kid outside, and now his mama found out, and now you got the police up at the Captain D. But
that's so specific.
Hey, I'm just saying, reputations can go both ways. So as far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm happy with my reputation, I'm not worried about too much what anybody else has to say about it, because I've found that in the long term, when your reputation truly precedes you, people appreciate it when they know what they're getting, when there's not a big old surprise waiting, or if the surprise is that you're always a surprise. I mean, that's how it works. So yeah, reputations, folks.
Say the reputation. He said sometimes the best reputation is to not care what your reputation is. Stand in what you are, even if you are a scumbag, even if you are an a-hole. Be truthful to yourself. It don't matter sometimes. That's what my boy Tori is letting you know. And sometimes you do gotta stand and be who you are supposed to be who you are, not necessarily worry about how your reputation is gonna precede you, at least in some aspect. I mean, a good bit of wisdom I remember is, you got to make sure to be able to be comfortable in your own skin. So if you can't be you, if you ain't comfortable being you, it ain't gonna be no sense in trying to be somebody else just for the purposes of, pleasing everybody else for the sake of somebody else's name or somebody else being. Screw all that. Be you. That's what my boy is saying. But I don't quite know if y'all hear me, so I got to go to the host of Do You Hear Me himself. I'm gonna see if Uniqo Williams can tell me a little bit more about reputation, what it means, like how can that carry you, and maybe some of the effects of bad reputation even. Like, let me know something about it, man.
Okay. So I just want, these two names come to mind. Deshaun Watson and Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft being the president of the Patriots, and then Deshaun Watson being the quiet, chill quarterback. You hear nothing from him about him whatsoever. Robert Kraft seems to be a grade A guy, loves Trump, but he got Meek Mill, so it's cool.
He hang out with Jay-Z.
He hangs out with with Hov. So I mean, he's got to be cool, all right. One person we don't hear about, and one person we still dealing with this. Like this just didn't go away. And I'm sorry, Robert Kraft isn't the first. That's not the first time that he went to a spa in Trump country and got a handy. I'm sorry. And
Won't be the last.
But for this to be the first thing you ever hear about Deshaun Watson, like your reputation is like you a cool guy, you chill, you run the ball, you don't say much, you say, "Come on, guys, we can do this." You that type of guy. You actually kind of boring. If quiet is kept, you actually kind of boring. And it comes out that that you soliciting acts from people. Again, it's legal. You can ask for these things to happen for you.
Yep.
And you can leave implied tips. But
You can't get sued though. But
that's such a weird thing for that to just come out. So his reputation is like, do we really know him? Is he like actually a depraved, like sexually like
some of them texts were crazy.
sexual deviant somewhere? Like that's where we at. That's your reputation, and that's hard to come back from. I know I broke it in my life.
Sexual deviancy is hard to come back from.
Sexual deviancy is hard to come back because that's in the head. But like
both heads.
Like me, I robbed a drug dealer with a BB gun, and he called the police. Where they do that at?
What?
So, with that being said, my reputation, it's easier to come back than me just having something wrong in the head. I just did something stupid because I thought it would work.
But it worked.
No, it didn't. I went to jail.
Oh.
He called the police.
I mean, it worked. It worked in the beginning. You got what you came for without having a real fire. Shout out to you for being in Indiana and still having a BB gun.
That was at the time. And you can always have somebody steal a BB gun for you in Walmart because that's exactly what happened. Somebody stole a BB gun for me in Walmart in late 2006. So that's a little bit of my story. You know,
okay, good time.
As I become more and more of a media guy or social media guy, I'll tell everyone more and more about my story. But I'm back.
Hosting the youth game at the park and robbing drug dealers afterwards. Let's go.
No, that was the before words, if we're going to go there. But what I'm saying to you is this. That was something easy for me to bounce back. But my reputation before that was I was a kid that the church always was like, have one of the youth come up here and pray for everybody. And I go up there and give this impassioned ass prayer. Like I knew it. All I did was copy what the hell they were saying. That made them say, "Woo!" I guess I've always been a showman, but I mean, with that being said, when I was locked up, one of them people said, this is what he said. His name is Fella. I'll never forget him, out of Indianapolis, out of Hallville. He said, no, I'm sorry, Pons Army. He was out of PA, and he said, "You think that them white folk will ever love you again?" I was like, yeah, because I felt like I had built up enough of a reputation, or I had built up enough good rapport. Like, all right, I messed up. Y'all see the situation. It wasn't a loaded gun. I wasn't dangerous or nothing. It was just me and my cousins just got on some stuff, and it somebody told it is what it is. Period. And my name got thrown in the mix. So, with that being said, my life was altered there, but I fully believed that I could come back from this because I was like, it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. So I was able to bounce back the way that I did. There was a couple of no's because, now I'm labeled as the F word, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, there's no better comeback story than myself. But coming from a reputation of he can do no wrong to this nigga's committing crimes, that was difficult for me to take on, but I knew that I could still rebuild my reputation.
Tight jacket to wear, that's for sure.
There's just some stuff that's gonna be hard for you to come back from, and being a child abuser or something like that stuff is hard for you to come back from.
Anything kid related, there's no coming back.
The R word, doing that to women or just to anybody, that's something hard to come back. We talk about reputation. Amber Heard, Like, dude, you shitting this man's bed. That you are capable of doing that. That came across your mind and you thought you was cool with that. What's her reputation now? Like,
Oh,
like,
they almost took her out of the movie, and DC don't fire no. But Ezra Miller going kidnapping folks.
I was gonna say Ezra Miller still got a job, so
Well, not kind of. No, he kind of got fired. They didn't reduce his role though. So
kind of got fired.
Look
a
around.
role reduction and firing are two different things. He's still getting paid.
Look around, man. Like you seeing everywhere, man. Your reputation, one decision.
Will Smith,
one decision, like what Uniqo say, can wipe everything. Can wipe all of your hard work. It can
Will
be
Smith's a
something
good
like
one.
a tweet. It can be a decision of you going somewhere, you hanging out, and then boy, Uniqo, he brought up something I do want to look at a little bit. Like he brought up the people that you around. They do matter because your reputation sometimes is defined by the people that you hang around. The saying, no, birds of a feather flock together, that's not just a saying. I promise you that's true. Because likewise people, similar spirits, no matter what direction you want to look at it, always seem to be around each other. So if you are around people that are quote unquote no good, they got negative connotations, they got negative things about them, their reputation through the mud, something like that. It's not always beneficial to be around those kind of people unless you know something that these people are not. Because another thing I will bring up is that a reputation is not necessarily a definition of that person. Reputations can be wrong. Reputations can be just a persona, just like a lot of people in media, a persona that they make up about themselves or it's made up about them. They not be the real them. Like I promise you, a lot of these Hollywood people are not the real people that behind these closed doors, not people that you think they are. Like their reputation speaks for themselves, but we don't really know a lot of these people. We go by a few articles, a few sayings, a couple of TikTok swipes, a few Instagram reels, and we think we know it in person because we got all their quotes and stuff. You know, something like everybody. Like let's use Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, for example. We got a whole bunch of Kobe Mamba quotes going all over the internet. His hard work, his hard ethic, with everything about that. But there are things about Kobe Bryant only his family knows. Only people closest to him know. There's secrets Kobe Bryant has that he would take to his grave. Not necessarily bad.
He did.
Just like we don't know these people, so you got a reputation. Not always a definition of a person, but it is important, and you got to make sure the people that you're around, that their reputations are going to stay upscale as well. And you know, iron sharpens iron, man. You got to make sure to be around people and connect yourself to people that's going to boost you higher, that's going to level you up, that's going to keep you sharp. You got to make sure to do that, man, because your reputation. Like we even saying, man, one wrong move it's hard to come back from. I know we were discussing prior to the podcast, there's a couple of little reputation things. We were talking about the GOAT, Michael Jackson, and it was something going around, Chris Brown being compared to Michael Jackson. And it's just like, we even look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown had his own struggle with his own situation with Rihanna, destroyed his reputation. He was shot, and Chris Brown was young. Like people have to remember, Chris Brown was young when that happened.
What, 18, 19, early 20s?
Barely could drink legally, I think.
That was massive for his, like, it took him a long time to recover from that, and we still don't have the full truth to that.
I was going to say, arguably, he still hasn't really recovered from it because people are still, if he does anything wrong, it's still going to be the first headline you see.
It will. But I think he's gotten away from it. He just on that probation where don't do nothing else wrong for the rest of your life, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you don't get a second chance even at that. But
probably some big NDAs over there.
Get blacklisted in the media, it's always like it was a hard time finding the parts or anything. Music ain't no better, but just it's a lot of what you see, a lot of your persona, man. You gotta keep your reputation clean as possible. And with that, I'm gonna give it to y'all, but I'm gonna throw another thing that when it comes to reputation, you gotta keep the receipts. You got everybody know what I'm talking about. You gotta keep the receipts. Like it might sound crazy to some of y'all, like you didn't really use this kind of thing in 2022, but your messages, your call, your logs, the stuff you say, the stuff you do, your tweets, your profile pic, your posts, you gotta keep
the videos,
because we culture in the age now where people will dig up stuff on you from years back. You'll be forgot about. Just to destroy your reputation, just to tear you down a lot of times, man. You gotta keep receipts and you gotta be smart about your decisions. I'm gonna throw it to Zelman for a little bit. You gotta tell me about the decision-making process, bro. Like the stuff you doing now.
That boy been rubbing in my brows, man. He ready to go. He got something on his heart.
Let's go over this. Let's talk. We talking about decision making. We talking about reputation. Let's bring up Logan Paul. A story just came out, by the way, about your reputation and how it affects you. Logan Paul told a story. I forgot who it was with. Was it on his podcast? I can't remember. But he said that once he had his incident, the Rock team, not the Rock himself, but the Rock's team called him and said, delete every photo of me, every video, all that. We don't want none of that on my reputation. And this is a story of two different reputations. It's a story of one, squeaky clean. Well, not squeaky. Well, since he been in Hollywood, kind of squeaky clean reputation. Don't hang around. He had some stuff in WWE, but most people just count that to Vince being a weirdo. Like Vince 100% told him to say some stuff like that. So WWE people are protected by Vince McMahon because they know Vince and Johnny Ace and all them is a little wild. But
now that they're gone, though.
But he got this reputation of, I don't want no drama. Don't put me in nothing. Matter of fact, he won't even do a video since he had a little drama with Vin Diesel, who brought it out that The Rock and him had a problem. Since he said that, he like, I won't do a movie with you. We're not doing another Fast. I'm not getting it. And Vin Diesel was like, hey, bro, let's finish this family. We don't hate each other now. And The Rock like, nah, you brung it out and hurt my reputation by bringing out a story. Cause if you know the story, Vin Diesel the one that brung it up. He brung it up to the media, and The Rock, well, I don't know if he really brung it up, but The Rock felt like his team let it out that they had a little tiff and that happened. So The Rock, like, you hurt my reputation. That's what I got. Logan Paul is a person who had not necessarily a great reputation, but then he did the Forest, and all of a sudden,
kid, by the way, y'all, a kid at the time,
100% a kid.
He's made an amazing comeback from it, though.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want a comeback story, that is amazing. A kid that, what was he, 2021? Because I can't remember. 2000. He's 20.
Yeah,
he's 25 now, and that was in 2018, so about 20. And by the way, I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I was so invested in it, because it was amazing to me. Because I'm like, this dude keep trying to top himself, and I could tell he's not getting sleep, and he do a vlog every day. This gets dangerous. Because you can't keep topping yourself. You can't buy a bus and just like try to blow it up and then keep trying to top it. You got to do.
Shout to Speed.
Yeah, you can't just do those things. You have to go and just.
Nephew.
Shout out my nephew right there. But you have to go out and keep topping yourself. And that leads to a dangerous situation where you keep trying to top yourself and it leads to a super negative atmosphere in which you got to keep doing, and you're gonna push the boundaries until you push it past it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get away with it so much you push it too far, which in that case he did. So now you got a reputation of, oh my god, that's that guy that did that. And by the way, he probably the most famous YouTuber in the world. By the way,
got the biggest podcast in the world
easily.
Joe Rogan got the biggest podcast. He lied like that, but
no,
I hate that he wins there. I really hate this.
I think Logan's got him on numbers. Why do you hate Joe Rogan? Quit hating Joe Rogan.
I just don't like him. Like, man, because I want somebody that look like me to win.
Shout out. That's what we gonna do. We taking Joe Rogan's spot.
Damn,
man,
shout out, sick of this shit, man. He just
as soon as we get somebody that worked at Area 51, or we can get Alex Jones on the podcast, we gonna get there.
See, Alex Jones got way too much attention. How he got more? This is about reputation, y'all.
Yeah.
Alex Jones
has a bad reputation.
Yeah.
But he
they listen to him for his back. They know he's going to say something wild that makes no sense.
Yes. And
unless you're a conspiracy theorist.
Unless you're on the deepest parts of 4chan.
Yeah. And as we know from that story, Logan Paul. He did bounce back, and he ultimately came back and won. He came back and won, and he up here and he.
Look at us being family friendly, by the way.
We family friendly. Why you gonna take my spot?
Just because it's a child on here, it's a scumbag on here, little one. Understand?
Yeah,
I'm a felon, so.
See, we cover the whole spectrum, folks.
And he bounced back.
You got something in your closet.
And by
I
the
thought
way,
it was the White House behind Monterey for the longest. I was like, is he running for president?
Nah, it's snowing back here, man.
and Logan Paul bounced back like no other thing. He thanks the cast out, giving him a focus, giving him a redeeming quality. Watching somebody get the easiest way to come back is to get punched in the face. Essentially,
Yeah.
watching somebody get punched in the face, you can redeem yourself. Like, oh, he got hit.
Nothing more motivating.
Rooting for a heel to get punched, because he still to this day, even in wrestling, he gets booed, and everybody like, we want to see him get beat up, even if it's not necessarily, even though it's kind of is a scripted like show, we still want to see him get beat up just for.
When CM Punk finally beat MJF, yo.
Yes, that's ultimately the thing, and he got it redeemed, so it is redeemable. And I said, The Rock still to this day trying to keep that perfect reputation. And by the way, with that perfect reputation that come with it, towards the good and the bad, with the good and the bad, ultimately The Rock is the biggest star in the world. So that good reputation can make you the biggest star in the world. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Man, letting you know, man, this reputation is something serious, man. It's something serious. But I do gotta wonder, like, it's one thing to, you got the court of your peers and everything when it comes to, redeeming your reputation. But there's always the culture of social media. There's always cancel culture. And there's always people on every social media site that might not let something go. So even though Grandpa say, like, you can come back from some things, is it possible? Afro comedy, is it possible to come back from a negative reputation in the eyes of social and the media? Let me know.
Those are the hardest eyes for it to. I feel like it's a lot easier for you to do something bad and then redeem yourself to your friends and family. You know what I mean? Now, as far as the court of public opinion goes, it's a completely different story. Because, like I said, Chris Brown, Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul, and I said this earlier, that's one of the most, who'd have ever thought you make it? Because I thought that was too far. Like, you ain't coming back from that. But, I mean, he's made it. He went from that video in the forest in Japan to now he's doing some of the biggest numbers podcast-wise that we've ever seen. I mean, he's been in the WWE. He fought Floyd Mayweather, yo. He fought the greatest boxer in the world after that despicably crazy stuff that because like I said, I can't get behind and I'm of the mind, like Bill May said, he was a kid when he filmed that, and he was doing a vlog every day, just filming your life, getting up every day and trying to do more and more that way, trying to top yourself. That's what got him to that forest in Japan. He knew going in there that there was a chance that he could see something like that.
To Tori point, though,
that's what I was going to ask you. I was actually going to ask you, Tori, and anybody else that knows about it. I was going to ask, did he really think he was going to see a dead body, or was he?
Yeah, 100%. You don't go there and think
that is the whole reputation. That is the whole reputation of the forest that he went into.
Who regulates this forest and doesn't check it for dead bodies at all times?
That's the name of the forest. It's like
they do, but the forest is so expansive that you can't.
It's known for that because it's a forest. I can tell you a little bit about the forest. I know about the forest in Japan. It's generally
I watched this documentary.
Multiple people have went and committed suicide. Some people dumped bodies.
And when we say multiple, we mean hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Yeah, it's something that still happens. So even though people can go through and quote unquote comb through the area to see if it's something there, it's a possibility that somebody might have recently used it for its reputation, unfortunately, and they just might not know until somebody just goes there. So
y'all go to Kroger, y'all go to Kroger, and they be like, "All right, y'all, it's time for the hourly check to check the bathrooms."
Yeah, but
they
find something
that's a whole nother culture over there. You will never see that in America.
Of forest, Joe, like miles. Like, this isn't just like a little forest somewhere. I mean, Japan's not the biggest country; it's a little island, but this forest is that forest is a good size, especially. And like I said, the fact, going back to Logan Paul, the more surprising fact is that he saw that and then he decided not to edit it out. Because if you think about that, he could have just as easily, you could have cut that frame and he wouldn't have gotten any. But he arguably he wouldn't be where he is now if the forest didn't happen.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. He'd probably be dead if that forest didn't happen. I hate to say it. He would probably take it so far that he'll risk his life doing some stunt.
Oh yeah, if the force hadn't happened, he would have ended up hurting somebody, hurting himself, because he was just pushing it like top, and that was, I mean,
doing social
like I said,
media.
if you haven't seen that video, good for you, because it's really, I mean,
Disturbing.
It's a sick thing, honestly, to think that he went there with the intentions of doing that, even though he's a kid. It's one thing to have that idea, because he's not the first, nor will he be the last person to have that exact idea, I'm guessing. But the fact that he went there in search of it, then found it, and then still thought it was a good idea to show everybody.
He's not even from Japan, and he happened upon it. Come on, man.
That's the thing. They say most of the bodies found in the forest are reported by tourists, because it's a tourist attraction.
Yes. Like, you can willingly go in the forest.
People love ghosts and all that stuff, and if there was ever going to be a paranormal place, what better would it be? What better place would there be than a random forest in Japan that has the reputation of folks going there to off themselves?
Yes,
by the way, J Station is sick.
Fair.
J Station, I thought J Station was finally gone. Is he back?
No, I'm talking about after it happened. He decided he gonna go and try to get him some attention. I'm like, this dude is sick.
That's a bad reputation. Like, he's in that Ice Poseidon reputation bracket. Like, it's just not.
And we do YouTube, right? When you look at the numbers, and if you do good on a video, you be like, I gotta keep this up. So imagine if your video for a week fall off after you doing millions and you making all this money, and all of a sudden it fall off a little bit. You like, I gotta do something crazy to get these numbers back up, and I do it every day. So like, if you so hyper focused on trying to have the biggest moments and keeping your momentum and beating your little brother who you in competition with, and he's starting to get a few more views and you not, because he on Disney and all that stuff, you be like, I gotta up it. My brother just went to jail in France. By the way, people that don't know, that happened right before that. His brother just went to jail in France for jumping in the river. Logan did it too, but Jake went to jail for it the first time. I think he pushed the police officer. So you're like, I gotta do something crazy too to outdo that. So let's go to this forest while we oversee you. By the way, he was out there messing with people with Nintendos too, and that was kind of like cultural inappropriate. Yeah. That whole video was like weird and obsessed.
Yeah, the whole like I said, when I first watched it, I'm a scumbag, and it was a little far for me.
Yes, but he bounced back, and he got it. Even in wrestling, they booed him, and then at WrestleMania, they like, you know what? He need to come back. Hey, Tori, what they say on there? He need to come back.
Bro, he shut everybody up. He went out there. He's like, look, I'm better than most of the niggas doing this. Like, legitimately, I've got everything.
Or you confront Soulja Boy with a better card than he's ever owned.
Yeah, Soulja Boy, shout out to Soulja Boy, because if you don't give him his props, he will come for you. Soulja Boy started everything, folks.
He did right up there.
Right.
Stop it. They was supposed to fight, and so that Paul Boy pulled up to his crib in a more expensive car than I've ever seen Soulja Boy be in.
Oh yeah.
He pulled his car and he was like, "What's up? So you trying to do this? Sign the paper." Sign the paper.
We don't know. Logan Paul would beat the brakes off of Soulja Boy.
I think that was Jake though, wasn't it Jake?
They both.
Okay.
The same yoke. They had
people don't care. They're the same person as far as the media is concerned.
That's where I am a part of the media, and yes, that's how that's as far as I'm concerned.
By the way, Jake Paul is 100%. If Jake Paul would have did that, I feel like he don't get his reputation back, because I feel like he don't care about being the bad guy.
I don't know if Jake comes back
Jake
from that.
Do not care.
Logan's got the likability factor. Jake doesn't.
Logan pulled the hat off of Mayweather, right?
No, that's Jake.
That was
dude.
Jake.
So Jake doesn't care. Wait, which one is the more popular one? I'm sorry. Let's try.
They both very
Logan's
popular.
the more popular one because he's the likable one. Jake's the one that's actually a good boxer.
Jake is the one that makes the most money because people hate him.
Yeah,
and he don't care.
That's like Jake pulling Tommy Fury's card, and now Tommy Fury don't want to fight Jake Paul.
But they announced it today because he did call him out and said, "I bought you tampons, So I don't know why you upset.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, that is
He said if you're scared to fight without your daddy, because apparently Tyson and Tommy Fury's father is a criminal here in the United States, so he's not allowed to come over. So Tommy doesn't want to come and fight without his car, without his
August
his
6th, they are
ring
fighting though.
team.
They're actually fighting. Tommy Fury got his
Are
car
they fighting
pulled.
in
And
America or are they fighting in England?
I think they fighting over here. I just saw it happen today, August 6th. Well,
if you want the bread, you fight in Europe. If you want the money, you fight in Europe.
they probably fought in LA.
It depends.
And then just talk.
It depends. Unless you're fighting at one of these big casinos, you know what I mean. If you're talking MGM Grand, stuff like that, you get talk a portion of the pay-per-views. You start talking about like betting lines and shit.
Oh wait, shout out to MGM casino hotels because they mad cheap because they want you to go to the casino.
Oh yeah, because
They give you like a
say
free
the
card.
hotels are cheap, so you can spend more money gambling.
Yeah, it's like $15 a night, and I'm like, this is a nice hotel, but they like, hey, here a free card to gamble one time.
Yep, and that's all it needs.
Yeah,
I mean, anyone who's been to Las Vegas, gambling is just part of the reputation.
But what I will say is that this is a perfect example of how a person can like lose themselves in their reputation. They can lose themselves in the name they didn't put out there, they live up, and they just get lost in the hype, they get lost to the sauce. You also got to realize that we said with Logan and Jake, that it is also possible to change one's reputation that's out there. Like you can change it, not just come back from it. You can change the reputation, you can change what's out there. So I'm gonna leave this part up to my boy Uniqo. Let him know, like, how can you really actively change your reputation going forward? Like, what steps do you have to take to actually change it?
For me, it was believing in me. I had to use every single bit of believing in who I really am. Like, you know, those things that people don't get caught doing in the shadows. I just got caught. I got caught.
Yeah.
But if I hadn't got caught, I was still going to be the same person. I still care about people. I still love people. I got caught. So like after you get caught, all you can do is really continue to embrace yourself, because you can't you can't wait for everybody else to embrace you. You just got to believe in yourself that you can make that comeback, that you can continue to do the good things. Like the people that, you know, it's sad when people build up an image of who you are, and it turns out this is who you like. You capable of stuff like that. And so I just think that the number one thing is you have to believe in who you are and continue to live up to the reputation you have with yourself. Because you know who you are. You know if you be telling your girl you ain't banging no other girls and you out here banging them other girls, you know the reputation in your head. You a hoe. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. So that's something that you got to do, is you have to know who you are and continue to walk down that path, and then people will see it. You don't got to try and make people see it or nothing. You got to go out your way. Just whoever the person you are, you got to go there, and you got to always present that no matter what, if you truly believe that's who you are.
True.
Well, I mean, hey, he couldn't have said it better myself. Sometimes you got to know who you are, and you also got to make sure to realize you ain't gonna please everybody. Like there's just gonna be some people out there that's gonna hold on to whatever reputation you got in their mind. You gotta realize you have to change everybody's mind about you, even if it's true. Even if you know you're a good, genuinely good person, sometimes court of public opinion is not always gonna swing your way 100%. You can get most of them cool, but sometimes you just gotta be willing to take what you can get, keep it rolling, to keep your own peace in your own mind, man. I gotta leave it with that, man. You gotta be able to keep your own peace with your own reputation, with your name, with your standing. And the other thing I will bring up when it comes to reputation is that your reputation not only affects you, it affects the people that you're connected to and that you're surrounded by. Just like Zelmay's reputation is going to be connected to Zelmay Jr., you know, and his nephew that was next to him. Like your reputation is going to be connected to your family, especially if you get any kind of fame, any kind of clout, any kind of notoriety. Your reputation affects all of them. It affects everybody you love, everybody you care about. Because if you grow, if you get big, it's gonna be important. If you do something like a crime, man, people will know your mother, they'll know your sister, they'll know your brother, they'll know your kids. They'll be like, oh, that's so and so's friend right there. That's so and so's sister right there that did X, Y, and Z. Oh, we're gonna refuse them a job, man. We don't want to be associated with them kind of people at all. Don't even know them. They ain't even gotta know your folks. Your folks ain't gotta have nothing to do with you just because your name's connected to them. It can even open doors or they'll close them before they could ever get there. So you gotta make sure to keep that, man. Keep that mentality, keep that mindset. The reputation, man, it's important. It may not define you, but it's gonna hold its weight.
Yep.
That's that Williams boy down there.
I leave it with that, man. So
yeah, what they said about Jesus is King of the Jews.
He's walking through Paris right now.
oh, boy. You know what?
I'm just saying real quick, Jesus, from what they wrote about Jesus and his reputation, he's just like, I'm the King of the Jews, man. And they was like, King of the Jews? Who this think he is? He ain't no King of the Jews. All he's doing was
Kendrick, the King of New York, and P. Diddy almost slapped him for it. And J. Cole got in a fight.
He was pulling bread. He was pulling bread out of us, infinite bread and infinite wine, bro. Like, he can't be that bad of a guy, can he?
I
don't know. That sounds like a drunk and a glutton to me.
I'm gonna stay away from that. We're gonna leave it out there because that's gonna get our reputation in a whole nother place.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to
keep your reputation with the women good. I'm a good guy.
About nice people. He got crucified. He appears to be a nice person. That's all I'm saying. Niggas was hungry.
Thank you for the limbo, Joe. Thank you for
Grandma,
the limbo.
you did say one thing. I'm gonna leave it with this. It's gonna be my last nugget. Because who you date,
no problem.
It's always important when it comes to their reputation as well. Especially who you're dating, who you're married. Their reputation is something that you do need to keep an ear out for because that's gonna stick with you as well. Because once you put your name and your ring on it, their reputation becomes yours as well. Please look at these celebrity couples.
So does their credits.
Will ain't been able to escape the reputation of his wife yet. It's important. Please keep mindful of the people that you date and their reputation because even though if it's all rumors and smoke and mirrors, sometimes there's a little bit of truth hidden in all these rumors. Just a little bit sometimes. You never know what it might be. So please be an eye, be mindful, be discerning. I'm gonna let these folks have their closing remarks and introduce themselves. Zell May, anything else to say and who are you and where they find you?
Look at me. As a man with a good reputation, I need you to understand this. If you date a fine woman, other women gonna be in your DMs. It's up to you to decide what you're gonna do with it. And remember, to keep stomping. My link tree below, my books, my merch, all the podcasts. It's in that link tree below. So please, keep stomping. Buy a book, get some merch, and something amazing can happen.
It's very silly. Afro Kami, you got any last parts of wisdom? If not, if so, let them know where to find you for a bit more.
Don't get too lost in your reputation, folks. And if you want to hear more of me telling you that, Afro Kami 765 on everything. Catch me on the internet being rated overall 99 and being a scumbag.
Let's go.
I mean, you said it. Now I gotta realize sometimes they might not hear us, so I gotta go to the host of Do You Hear Me? Maybe he got something else y'all needs to hear. If not, he'll let you know where to hear it at. Uniqo, what it do?
Man, I'm gonna say it for you real quick and say it again, man. Shout out to Blood Report. Y'all really been showing out. They've been having some good ass shows lately. Y'all niggas is funny. Period. They group of dudes, they funny as hell. Period. And they have some people have very outlandish takes on there, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna name names. Let me get to know them a couple of more episodes, and then I will 100% be calling people out on their bullshit. Secondly,
when we gonna get to Do You Hear Me collab? We got the over on that collab.
That's gonna be fun. That we gonna get it cracking. It'll be something outlandish probably, and I can't wait to hear the terrible takes. UniqoWilliams.com. That's where you can find me because that road led you right here. And I just want y'all to remember something, man. It ain't what they call you; it's what you answer to. So your reputation is 100% what you make your reputation. You know what you did that day. Other folk can to say that you did this and he used to do that, but today did you do something good? You know that you did that and be proud of that. Do you hear me?
Hear him what he got to say. And then finally, I've been your host for today, your boy Monray Hudson. Catch your boy on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. My name is Monray Hudson. Otherwise, I'll be on the Blurred Cartel, Overall 99 Media, of course, Broke Ugly Dudes. Buy the merch. And if I got to leave you with one, I'm going to leave you with a quote from the man, Jerry Springer himself. The man had some of the most unsavory reputations on his show, and yet he himself was fine. And I'm going to say the same thing he said at the end of his show all the time. Take care of yourself. and each other.
Tell her.
Peace.
Ooh,
And we all
bars.
broke and we listen.
Drop
Last
mic.
one of the week. Last one of the week. We out.
Oh.
I dropped my mic.